We had a perfectly good parapet to have a long rest
Alright.
in. We're pretty tired. I don't know why these crazy people that I've
I
paired up
don't know
with
why,
Ooh,
but
yep,
I
it's
have.
continue to
5:55
push
or
on.
6:55. Something
Alright. If you want to
55.
talk, it's going to come
Anyway,
out
they were
on the
shooting into
game.
the darkness and
So
climbing
you
down and
can
causing
listen
all
to them.
kinds of scenes.
These are
So we
all talking
decided to
points of
go where
players
this
telling you
uh,
what happened last week.
beneficial person, I don't know, something that they know.
Actually,
Ah,
I just turned off our
beyond the
volume. I
wall,
forgot I had
beneath the
done it
wall. I
correctly.
thought we were already
So
beneath the
you
wall.
can go ahead and talk all you want. It
Anyway, we
won't go out
get
on the
there and the
stream.
guards like arrest us, and we have to fight some rapscallions. But don't worry, we found Murgoboleth, and he guides us all. He breaks our chains, and we crawled through him. And when we got to the other side, there was like bodies and dead things there, which is normal. And we got to a hot room, which I spent my time trying to get out of.
Oh, uh, well, we we were in the perfect opportunity to escape, but somebody thought it would be a good idea for us to get ourselves arrested just because somebody else said that we needed to do so. So apparently that's where we went. And there were a lot of people. Some people tried to touch me. I stabbed a person. Well, no, I punched a person in the face. I was about to stab somebody. And then there was this kid who was with us since where we came from, and he was like stuttering and saying, "Oh no, you need to go to the demon." And so we went over to the demon face, and Klaak decided to jump in, and I really probably shouldn't have, but I did. I'm not sure why I did. I probably shouldn't have, but then I did, and we were on all of us on this pile of trash, and then there was a long hallway, and I was looking through the hallway in the room, and then I fell and impaled myself on a giant spike, and I don't remember much after that, actually.
So, what happened? What happened during that time? Well, I suppose we best begin on the parapet. Many people wanted to get some relaxation, but this curious character apparently getting orders straight from the benefactor. So we go to the wall, and well, there's this nasty business of being arrested, but they arrested so many people that evening because apparently these dirty, filthy Sutherlands went and stole things from the wall. But anyway, they put us in with the Sutherlands, like grimy as they are, so many humans about. I'm sure Huxley felt right at home, and eventually we made our way back to this gaping maw of some demon that apparently Klaak thinks is very kind and wonderful, so he jumped right in its mouth, and we eventually ventured after him and arrived in this grand room with a charring body and somehow Huxley, but I think it was the construct, that strange thing that always roams about. And eventually we went into this next chamber. It got very, very hot, and there was this chanting voice, and I saw Godfrey. Oh, Godfrey, he was getting all burnt up because the room was getting hot and the metal was getting red hot, and it was just awful. So I shouted. I used magic to make my voice boom and told them to stop, and they asked if I was a wizard, and well, the thing that was formerly pretending to be Huxley, but then was pretending to be a drow, told me to say yes, so I said yes, and told them that I was the wizard, but not a god, and now we're in some horrible mess, and God, this is why you shouldn't follow goblins down holes. I know I should have known better than this. Oh, gods above.
Life has been a blur since waking. A marathon running forward. Faces, places, faces. Always new. People here. Connection. More to see. Moving forward, many crowds, many faces, angry faces. Leeches? Leeches always good. Can use the leeches, nothing else. Proceed to the whole weird place, dark rooms. Get asked questions. What is this? Am I a construct? Construct.
How we doing?
Welcome to
Chat.
everybody. Good evening and welcome back to the Plot Points family, the show where we bring on the very best of the D&D players on the internet. Let me introduce you to some of them. In your upper left corner of the screen, we have Kitty. Upper right corner of the screen, you got Stranger. And down center below me, we have Alex. These are three of the top players. Colton will be coming in just one moment. He's just running a little bit behind and we'll click him on. Athos won't be with us tonight, so it'll be your original four. I invite you to enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed hearing them recount what happened for you last week. Let them say good morning right now, or good evening, depending on where you're at. For most of us, it's good evening. Stranger, you want to lead us off with a big howdy?
Howdy! Is that what you wanted?
Plot point. There you go. You got
Yes.
plot points.
Yeah. So I'm Stranger. You can find me online here every Thursday. You can also find me online at Deca Queers on Twitter, on Spotify, and online at decaqueers.com, where I run a queer D&D podcast that I haven't uploaded in a while because I've tech issues. So, meh. Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty Doe. I run a YouTube channel called Kitty Doe where I do storytime animations. And over to Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I do a thing called a podcast. They're pretty hip with the kids these days. It's called Three Minds. I do it with my siblings. I'm very late. I'm very late with the new episode. It hasn't been recorded yet, but you'll get an episode soon because we have a backlog. So look forward to that. It'll happen when exams are over. Exams are soon. TM. And Colton streams. Since he's not here, I'll give him a little spiel. He does some GTA 5 roleplay, which is really awesome, and he's one of the best people at it that I know. And I know a lot of people who do GTA 5 RP. And he also does some like in character playing of some RPGs, like Call of Cthulhu. That cool game. He did that in character, and it was really cool and fun. And so you should check him out at twitch.tv/NotTheNotLock, I believe.
Not the not lock. Love it. All right, so there's our intros. Let's get right into it. We left off last week, as our players have already told you, with them being down inside of we just got out of the underground, so of course what do? We go right back into it. We dive through a demonic face, and we go into this dungeon where we're at. They recently, still having no rest, have gone into this room where they found an illusory floor with some spikes leading out of an abyss down below. Almost lost Nerida there. Then they started with a trap that's been heating up every bit of metal. Luckily, while Nerida was knocked unconscious for 10 minutes, Huxley was there, stripped off all the metal. So she was safe. They also found a magic chair, and in testing it, put Nerida in the magic chair and pushed her out over this floating pit. Now, they still can't see the pit except when they stick their head through it or do something like that. But they know she's floating above it right now, not moving. And that's where we pick up. So when you look at the map, which I've put on the screen for all of you, again, there's no floor between Nerida. She's just kind of floating out there on her own. And I should probably move poor Huxley back because he's not in the pit. Huxley's actually over here on the edge of it. And there's a chanting coming from the north up here. And it's been slowly and steadily getting closer. And it's going in a language that most of them cannot understand. It seems like a cacophony of voices. So rather than a language, let's just call it I think cacophony is probably a really good word there. Different voices, different languages blending together and getting closer. I would pick it up with you, Stranger. However, I think your roleplay might be... Yeah, exactly. You did that well. Let's jump over to Huxley, since you didn't get a chance to talk last week. Huxley, what are you doing?
Huxley keeps himself from shouting out to Nerida, knowing that she can't really respond. Are you all right now? Has the heat stopped on you? And instead looks over at Rembrandt, who had demanded to know why he shoved Nerida out and stranded her last session. And he responds, well, it's just, I felt like she was still burning somewhere, because, I mean, she has a lot of, like when she put the coin, I just wanted to make sure that she was safe, but I thought maybe the best chance of doing that was to, move her maybe out of the zone of whatever's going on.
Well, if she is still burning, now she's burning over a pit of spikes. Do you see how this might be a problem, Huxley? Just a bit, just a small, tiny problem.
When you word it like that, it does kind of sound like a problem.
Yes. We need to get her back, and then we need to figure out this chair. I think if I just have enough time to think, we can get everybody out of this room. We can figure out the chair.
We can move the chair back into the other room.
Yes. Let's try and get her back. You all stay back there, and he's talking to the two constructs, Monty,
Aathos.
Godfrey, Aathos, and
and Monty. That's right.
Yeah, and
Klaak.
I'm basically saying all of you people who have been just consistently burning are finally in the hallway. Please stay there. And he's gonna move over with Huxley, and he's gonna take out his ever lovely rope of coiling, and I say, I'm not sure how exactly we're going to get Nerida back over here.
Maybe if we make a loop and in those circus games, we just try to toss it on her, we can pull
I'm not
her
really
back.
good with knots. I'm good with gears, but not knots.
It seems kind of like a frictionless floating. I don't think it'll take much.
All right. Here, and he hands Huxley the rope of coiling, and is like, figure this out.
Huxley starts singing the song about crossing over each other and making the bunny ears. And he makes a nice bow knot.
But it's like, yes, I think I've seen that somewhere. That's very, yep, just like, yes, a lasso, yes. And we'll see if Rembrandt knows what a lasso is, assuming that there is some sort of roll here.
Would you like to make a roll instead of just knowing it? You may do that. Go ahead, let's have our first roll of the night, and we'll make it, an intelligence, I would think? Or you could do
I was thinking knots are more wisdom. It's...
He's like, please, go for it. Let's do wisdom. I'm fine with that. When the GM's just like, yeah, I think that sounds great.
Yeah. I was really banking on the wisdom thing, which is, I don't think we need Huxley's hint.
I was thinking knots are so complicated. That's got to be intelligence. Don't put Huxley on that.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like,
I was thinking knots.
But go for it. Make your wisdom roll, and we'll go from there, Hux.
Funny how the one who could know how to tie the knot is the one who needs you guys to tie the knot.
It's your roll, Hux.
Oh, it's my roll. Okay, yes. I thought it was your roll. I don't know why.
No,
Your straight wisdom.
Yeah, we said we would allow that, so you go for it.
I've always just thought of it as a survival skill.
How bad is it?
That's why.
It's perfect. It's a
22.
It's like, dude,
it's pretty awful.
I haven't gotten over yet.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to add plot points to that. I don't know if we're...
Hello?
Hey.
Hello! Welcome!
Hey, let's go turn his camera on.
Welcome.
Colton is now in. And
Klaak has been told to stay in the hallway.
Well, it's a good call. He's not coming out until it's not hot.
Luckily, Remy's good in the heat, at least.
I'm going to recenter his camera here just for a moment. Give me 1 second. There we go. Boom. And now it's better. Sorry, I didn't mean for you guys to stop. All right, so you do this thing. A moment later, Colton, we just picked up. They were making rope because they decided they wanted to get Nerida back in. Huxley slips this together as soon as Alex hands him the rope and whatnot. Throws out this rope while Monty, the hot-wired monodrone, actually gets himself back into the hallway because he's been burning this whole time. Godfrey, the dog, which is half wood and half metal, has been smoking and burning and starting to char, and he's moved into the hallway along with Klaak, who moved there last session, leaving just our 3 players here. Oh, Aathos, we're going to say that he got tired of burning and smoldering too, so he's moved into the hallway with you, leaving just our 3 heroes out here. Now, Huxley, one of our questions last time was, did you have any... You were wise enough to take all the metal off of Nerida. Were you wearing metal armor?
No, he wears leather armor. Not even studded leather armor.
Beauty. We're not going to worry about any little hasp right now. So you're fine with all that. You throw out this rope and, you knew how to make a knot exactly, but the real question is, how good is Huxley at throwing? Go ahead and make a straight dexterity check, not acrobatics.
I forgot about your dex too. I forgot about this.
No.
Why did I put
Try
everything in
again.
Huxley's hands?
Huxley is like, yes, I can get to you 10 foot out, and throws the rope right over Nerida all the way towards the doorway on the other side. And a moment later, this rope goes sailing over and lands farther than the axe that was thrown everywhere else. You failed in your
Okay,
first
we'll just
throw.
start pulling it back and try it again.
And just because it'll be giggles. Beauty! That's one of those times when I was actually happy about getting a 1, because I was like, does she hook it on one of the spikes underneath? Huxley, it does snag on something, but you're strong enough. If I remember, Huxley's got a really good strength, and I can go over
Got
here.
15.
I thought so. And you find yourself pulling up a weight, so maybe Nerida's in 2 spots, maybe Nerida's not, but the next thing you know, you're pulling up this dead body that comes up through the illusion. Your rope, with this perfect knot on the end of it, has successfully hooked the body, just not Nerida's. And you pull up this dead body from down below that was caught on one of the spikes. It's old.
Is it human?
It's decrepit. It is a humanoid body, yes. It is somebody else who
Okay.
fell through the spikes at one point.
Look down.
Rembrandt's not very
Lysander's
concerned.
blessings upon you. May you rest peacefully now. Slowly undoing the rope from them.
Hopefully that's incentive to not miss this time.
And as you're watching, one of the things that happens, sorry I turn on Colton's camera here, one of the things that happens is the chanting arrives. Through the doorway comes these ghastly figures of individuals, ghosts and specters, and they flood into the room. The arcane symbols on the walls do not change. They do not grow brighter. They do not go out. But instead, the room grows cold. The only one unaware of the coldness is Nerida in her chair, as these individuals walk out across the illusionary floor and start coming toward you. What do you do?
Klaak, Aathos, everyone, there's something going on here. And he'll Rembrandt will look towards. We need to get Nerida now before those things already at Nerida yet, or how?
That's up
Are
to
they
you
at
guys
Nerida?
now. I mean, he's like opening the floor up to you.
Yeah.
Klaak,
I thought he was asking you if those.
Yeah, I was asking, are the the specters like at Nerida yet? Because they're walking across the floor and Nerida's right in front of us.
I'm sorry, I was clicking the map. They came out towards the middle. They do not appear to be heading towards Nerida at all. They appear to be coming straight out towards the middle of the floor. And since you are specifically looking to see if they're going towards Nerida, I would like you to make a perception roll for me, please.
Okay.
I guess I'll come help these people again.
22.
And I'll start running down the hallway with my greatsword.
You've noticed that some of their legs and feet are down into the floor, and almost like they're sinking, but slower. Klaak, you come running out from the hallway in the back. Are you running right out straight towards them?
Well, just like to where before I was at, so kind of like
Right on the
I
end.
was throwing my hand axes
Yeah,
right here.
Let me put myself here.
Sling Rembrandt,
There.
chilling like bros.
We'll say Godfrey's hanging like right here.
Aw.
So Godfrey's staying in the room and getting hot and burning?
Well, you said it was cold now.
I said, yes, there's a cold coming into the room from them. It has not negated the heat metal in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, the heat metal is still 100% active. They are bringing a cold with them, and they appear to be sinking into the floor.
Well, maybe he wouldn't have called all the constructs in. He would have definitely called for help, though.
Klaak, you're running out towards Nerida?
Well, like kind of where I threw the hand axes before, so I was like right about here, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Both of-
throw out I threw them from like over here somewhere.
If you notice the square on the floor, that is actually all the open dead space. So like where you put yourself right there. Yep, there you go. That's the
This.
edge of where the illusion technically
Yeah, okay.
all you're seeing is floor, but you're wise enough to know there's a drop off there and you could feel ahead with your foot.
I'm probably not wise enough.
Well, if you would like to have run out there and fall, we can do that.
Maybe let's give Klaak a pass on this one. Yeah.
I open it to the players. Maybe chat wants to chime in. How much? does
Chat already
love
has.
you?
They redeemed a minor wild magic search.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh, it's already.
Shade and Shackle is trying to ruin our lives.
He's like, go ahead, get your magic back. Go ahead.
Too lucky for you. I mean, joke's on you. None of us have any spell slots left.
Don't worry, Nerida. This time I got you, and I'm gonna try and toss the rope out again.
Do not forget that Shade also has another minor NPC that has to be worked in that Shade bought, so that's coming.
Oh no!
So you have successfully lassoed Klaak. How you threw it to the left when you were throwing forward is anybody's guess.
And then just tug!
It's just, for a moment.
Oh, so sorry, Klaak.
It stops him from falling in. It was actually ingenious.
Way to go, Huxley! And Klaak was saved. These humans are always trying to tie up goblins. Go figure.
Oh, that's very true, Shackle.
Klaak is like, I'm not saying a word.
But yeah. Huxley, can you undo what you just did? We're trying to get Nerida, not Klaak. They don't even look alike. How do you even get them confused? Give me that rope. And he's trying to like get the rope and like
Here
pull
you
it
go.
off of Klaak.
Don't pull it off of Klaak. He's spiky. Just let him take it off himself.
Klaak, can you help me with this? I just. He's like trying to like navigate around the quills. Assuming Remy gets the rope off Klaak, he'll try and take his try. one of these days.
It takes a few more tries. You're kind of not paying attention to the ghosts too much, but now you all realize the ghosts that have come out weren't just going through their feet. They slowly sink into the floor completely.
Mm-hmm.
None of them get past the halfway point. And the spectral voices that you hear as they go deeper into the ground slowly go out, almost providing a hum in the room. It takes a few more tries before Nerida has this rope latched around her, and it appears to be around her upper torso and part of the chair, but it's anybody's real guess. And you do notice something. As you throw this rope on her, it kind of shifts the balance, and she just kind of rocks a little bit in the chair.
Okay, I think we might need to be slow with this then. Or very fast, very quickly, and he'll start slowly pulling the rope in, trying, like, seeing if it's making her tip even more, like, all the way over, and if that's the case, just, like, he's gonna stop very quickly.
You do notice that, yes, she does tip, but the chair moves slowly, so whenever you let off the rope, the chair rights itself, and because you chose to take your time, you're able to get her safely back to the edge. And Nerida is once more with you, floating over the edge.
Is she, like, steaming? How bad is the burn right now?
She doesn't have any metal on her. Her metal is on a pile on the floor.
Okay, it did
get...
off of her last time. What about the hidden daggers?
Didn't we end up getting those because she took damage? Because she brought that up last session. And
okay.
So she took some
I couldn't remember
damage, and then Huxley found them and pulled them all off.
Okay, I couldn't remember if none of them were on there, if any of them were left on there. Okay, in that case, okay. We definitely need to figure out what that was, but first of all, we need to get out of the room that is setting everything on fire. And as he turns to look at his javelin that's starting to char a little bit at the end where the metal's at.
It sounds like a plan.
All right.
Huxley's just gonna hold the chair and push it with them as they go into the first room.
Now, who was the one that noticed the path over here on our map?
Athos, I believe.
Yeah.
I
think he was
shared it
debating
with-
jumping down into it last time until it was 20 feet below, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can see, I think it is like 20 or 30 feet down. It's down there a little bit. I think it's only maybe 20, yeah. And yeah, you're right. I'll give you a plot point for that one because you're remembering correctly. He was talking about that. So, do you guys want to have Aathos come in and just kind of do a somersault over there?
What, like?
I'm scared of losing.
Yeah, let's
Because
not
he's
have
rebooting,
Aathos
you know, he
just
kept
jump
like
down there.
stuttering through speech and other things because he really needs
Yeah.
rest. He's just kind of gone into hardcore shutdown mode. We're just gonna push him along into the second room too.
Okay, so we're trying to have a little kumbaya party in the original room and catch our breath,
Okay.
and
Just relax. Take a load off.
once we get back in there, Rembrandt will sort of like try and gather everyone around where the fire was before and say, okay.
As everyone
Huxley.
leaves the room, slowly you notice as the arcane individual, there's a dimming of the lights. It takes a little bit longer, probably almost the course of 10 minutes, as these lights slowly but surely fade back, leaving the room once more in darkness. And almost at the same moment as the room goes dark, suddenly there's a snore and a start from Nerida in the chair, who you've dragged in the chair still all the way back here. By the way, the chair stops floating once it's in the hallway.
Okay.
But Nerida,
So just
you're awake
boom.
now.
Good morning.
Something tells me it's not actually morning.
I have no earthly idea what time it is.
And I will give Nerida Bead, a masterful rogue, is very keen on checking all her items, like just instinctively.
Yeah, I can tell they're not on me.
Yep.
Where's my stuff?
The other room.
I get up.
The very hot.
The very hot room that nearly killed us all. Well, mostly killed you Sutherlands, and I suppose Klaak as well. And the
Welcome
Commonwealths.
back.
Really, I was the only one.
And you do have numerous burn marks on you right now in the various places where it was, and some of your clothing has burn marks through it where, darn it, your hidden items gave you away. Gave themselves away.
Why not take a moment, maybe have Huxley look you over? Those burns look pretty nasty. Then you can go and get your stuff. But it's not like, everything in that room's dead. So not like anyone's going to take it. Banking on the
Those ghosts can take stuff.
Huxley. I was going
Ghosts?
to. I was going to
ghosts?
share the thing about the ghosts later. After
Are there ghosts in there?
there?
there's like a tiny little ghost. Nothing, not a big deal at all. It's just a small little ghost army looking thing. They sort of burst
They
through
were
the doors
just
chanting.
singing. They were.
Yeah,
That's just a religious thing.
but they
You know,
also sunk
dancing
into the
doesn't
pit
have to be bad.
that apparently has some amount of dead body. We should have checked that. Maybe we should go back in that room. Maybe there's something on that body that we didn't.
I'm gonna sit down.
How? Okay.
I'm gonna say, where's my ring? Is it
the
also
other-
with all of my other things?
In the other room.
I'm check my boobs. Is my gem still in there?
It is.
Alright. Okay.
Let's. All right. How about this? We definitely need to rest. Let's duck in the room very quickly. Nerida, you can grab your things. Klaak, actually, Huxley, you're strong. That way Klaak doesn't get burnt. Huxley, you come with me. You use your strength to help me pull that body out of the pit into here. Maybe we can figure out exactly what we're dealing with. Maybe how the hell we can get out of here.
Body
And,
I already pulled up?
yes, the one that's pulled up, but pull it into this room so we can look at it and examine it and maybe get an idea of who's been down here
Is it
and what
right
we're
to be
dealing with.
messing with the dead? Can't you just let him rest?
Well,
He's
I'm
not
worried.
using his body anymore.
It's not
Yes, and
about whether or not he's still using it.
There's
But
no
I'm
soul
also-
in it.
It's just not right. This is how undead chanters come to be, because people messed with their bodies.
Well, Huxley, I'm worried that we might join them if we don't take advantage of every single thing we have at our disposal right now.
I'll do a prayer over the body first.
How about you do a prayer over the body once it's not burning and we're not burning?
Why would I be burning? I don't have any metal on me anymore.
You have that mace.
I dropped it.
Well, then you can recover that as well. in a room of slightly safety. Please, Huxley, just do this for me, and then you can do whatever you want once we get it back in this room. Please.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. And he says with a big sigh, Godfrey, Monty, you stay here. Saran Wrap, you as well remain here.
Oh yeah.
Klaak, you watch over all of them. We'll be right back.
Klaak?
And
Are you just like standing there? by the jar, or
Klaak's
what?
just starfished on the ground by the fire. He's like so done.
I'm just gonna
Passed
like
out.
plank on the ground, but not like on my back. And I just be like, this is stupid.
You all go back in that room and you could die. Just stay here, rest. We'll get it in a minute.
Huxley will first go out and try and get the body in.
yes, Rembrandt will come
Hopefully picking it up by areas that aren't covered in metal.
There are no.
I don't
This particular body is mostly rotten flesh, bone, robes, backpack, things like that.
Okay.
Okay.
And nothing is.
Robe and backpack?
And as you walk in, again, the sigils have all gotten out, so there's nothing really steaming on the ground and whatnot.
Wonderful.
And you drag this body back from there.
If
Go
if it
ahead.
looks like Huxley isn't struggling, then Rembrandt will grab Nerida's gear if she didn't come with us and sort of like bundle it up and try and take it with him and like try and not get stabbed by the rapier.
One
The
thing-
rapier now that
Actually,
got
it's
stolen.
gone. Yeah, short
It's
sword,
just
I guess.
daggers and jewelry.
ceremonial
Oh, yeah.
sword. She does have a big sword.
Oh, yeah, the
that,
ceremony.
that big giant sword. It's like trying to.
So you go in there, and by the time Huxley gets done, and then you follow in there, the sigils on the wall have just started to glow softly. And as you're picking up all of Nerida's things, you can just feel that they're only the slightest bit warm. And you realize
so
the same as before, as the radiant light increases, the things come hotter and hotter. So you scoop everything up, and it's easy enough to get everything back in, no problem whatsoever. And by this time, you can still hear the sounds, the echoing sounds down in the pit beneath you. Well,
And
below the
is it anything I can understand? I think before we decided it's a language none of us speak, right?
because it's different
Yeah.
sounds and different individuals speaking.
Mhm.
So you would have to be very discerning. Do you want to spend some time in here while you're holding the metal and doing that?
Not while it's hot. Nope. He wants to rest, so he will.
Okay. So you have everything back for Nerida. I don't think there's anything else left metal in the room. Your little hot wired monodrome with the open panel and whatnot is just standing there with its one arm waving at you and waiting for its next order. Nerida, I would actually like Klaak, Remy, you have advantage on this roll, and so does
Okay.
Huxley, to make a perception roll for me, please.
13.
A 20.
13 and a 20, and then Klaak, and a 14.
We have now another wild magic surge redeemed.
Are you serious?
Kerfuffle's
Spicy.
Wild
Oh,
Magic Surge,
man.
the much worse one.
Wait, they went for the big one?
Yep.
They went for the big one.
Oh, snap. I love you guys. I feel bad for you.
Just don't let
Spicy?
rocks fall and everyone die.
Yeah, Spicy. I'm gonna remember this when you're raiding a pirate camp next week.
Okay, so for anybody that's watching, the reason I put a little asterisk after the wild magic is to let me know that there is one there that is a kerfuffle, which is like world-changing type badness. So,
The chance to be.
what? My computer's fighting me, which is why my thing is not let go OBS and let it be where it's supposed to be. There you go. All right, first spell's gonna be a doozy. Technically I should do them in order, but I'll just roll a d4 and we'll see which one happens. Because
no.
something wild magic is happening. So it might be a huge
Alright.
one, might be a little one. We don't want to give the players that much knowledge on what exactly is going on.
Well, at least we need spell slots. So we'll get. Hopefully
Alright.
we get those.
So you guys are going to spend all your time doing a short rest now. During this time, the room stays dark. The voices go out completely. and you gain back all the benefits of a short rest. So depending on how many hit dice you want to spend, you can work on getting back those hit points. Because Huxley does have a healing kit, you can get all the benefits of doctoring up, putting some ointment on your wounds, things like that. So go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't get back any of my spells on a short rest, so
Yes, we'll be trying for a long one, I think. Here.
yeah.
The problem is, if you do the time switch, you guys had a long rest. It has not been 24 hours. So, do you guys want to just, like, kind of chill out? Because that's just a basic rule of the game, just like real life. Going to sleep for 8 hours, you wake up, you can't just say, I'm going to go back to bed and fall asleep. Usually you sit there in bed going, you can't sleep.
When did we get a long rest?
We got a
the
long
last time
rest.
we did was when we were back in the Underdark.
I guess it hasn't really been that long.
Because all you did was you took a long rest, and then you went over, you met the wolf, and you came up. That's all you've done.
No, because we went to the pirate ship and did all the pirate ship, met Aathos, had the tsunami.
But I think we rested after that too.
Not a long
Man,
rest.
I don't know about you, but like, if it's been a few hours of straight stress, I go right back to bed. I'm just saying, it was a really stressful few hours. Sometimes you wake up, you have a stressful few hours, and it's like when you go to school and then you come back home, you're like, I'm going right back to bed. I'll wake up later.
Well, I think that we can kind of fudge things a little bit because you know what, it's a game. And let's just say you guys decide to chill out for hours, and let's make it a long rest.
Okay, wonderful. I like that.
Do we successfully complete this long rest, or do we have to take watches first?
I think we should
We're
probably
assume
take
that
watches.
You are taking watches. You also have Godfrey. You also have a hot-wired monodrone. And you have Aathos, who has Sentry's Rest. So Aathos doesn't need to actually, other than sitting still, do anything else. So between it, you have all your watches covered. You have 3 NPCs that can help you out. And nothing actually occurs during that time that would alert you.
Okay. Can I spend a portion of my long rest just going through the pack of the body we recovered? And
Absolutely can. Standard part of any long rest is 2 hours of which you're studying spells, doing other things, going through backpacks and whatnot. You find a variety of adventurer's gear. Much of it is dated. The very backpack, the robes appear old and rotten. As I said, it's already decayed down into just kind of bones, little bits of flesh left on it. Some of the most interesting things that you find are because this individual appears to have been something akin to a priest, you're figuring. There are some potions inside the bag, and one of the books there, which at first you took to be a prayer book, talked about some words in Goblin, which now you only picked up because you had looked at the journal that you gave to the Wolfkind. One name in particular stands out in it, and that is the name Cellardor.
which is the same name as... Right? No, that's Dorseal.
Cellardor is a translation of Dorseal. Dorseal is the original ancient goblin, and Cellardor is a later, hundreds of years later, rendition of that.
Okay, so I suppose once Rembrandt finds that and finds that bit. So is the entire text Goblin or
no? Just the names.
Okay, just the names.
Text is actually written, for lack of a better term, in the common tongue. It's just one of the lands and nations, whether it's on there and whatnot. Yeah, so I forget what they call it in Galifar. It's not Gallifreyan. Now I'm doing Time Lord stuff. But the language for how's that common?
Yeah, I got you. And you said it's not a book of prayers. What does it seem like to be beyond?
While there were prayers at the start of it, it appears to be a personal journal of this individual who was going to seek for this Cellardor, who
here
it has in this journal. It says Cellardor has the secrets to greater power. And the individual, as you're musing over it for the couple hours, appears to have been a priest, musing that Cellardor was somebody looked for by wizards to gain power. And this individual thought that perhaps Cellardor might also have the secrets to channeling in the gods once more. At least that was
Okay. Yeah. So Rembrandt will sort of, as he's reading, he'll sort of, share the big points that this. Let's see. It seems this place is somehow related to Dorcil, the person from the journal that the Wolfman stole. Interesting how we keep running into this.
Yes, very interesting. Can you do me a favor, Remy?
Yes.
I'm gonna take out the gem and I'm gonna take out my ring. I'm gonna say, can you fix these? Be careful with it. Don't lose it, or I will kill you.
Possibly.
I think the gem is cracked, right?
Yeah.
If I recall.
Yep.
So, yes. How much time did I assume looking through the journal used up all of Remy's free time, and all that?
It would have been, yeah,
Full
because
to
we
it.
studied
Yeah.
into it. But
Yeah.
we can just extend it. Just tell everybody we need more time here. And again, you don't.
Okay.
The nice thing is you have centuries and whatnot. So spend your time.
Yes, I suppose. This might hold us up a bit longer, but I need to. Well, and first, in order to repair this, I need to make a different tool. That it shouldn't be very hard for me. But I just need to. I need to get proper jeweling equipment. But I think I can reset it and possibly even fix the cracks here. Those might prove a bit trickier. This is arcane of some sort, yes?
Yes.
Do you know the exact properties? Any, its origin? That might prove beneficial.
It has some properties of a. Do you know those weird bags that you can just stick your arm in forever?
Yes, I can actually make one of those.
Okay, cool. It has properties similar to that.
Oh.
Based on water.
Interesting. Okay. Well, hopefully I don't cause a flood doing this, but he sets to work to make jeweler's tools. It's a artificer ability, where you can, if I get like an hour, I can make a tool for it. Yep. Here we go.
What is everybody else's intent while he spends this hour working on all of that?
I'm watching him closely to make sure he doesn't fuck up.
Huxley will pray, but this time without the incense and stuff because he doesn't have them anymore.
Yeah. So Huxley doesn't have keeps insisting on he doesn't have anything metal. Where's the headband?
The headband.
Isn't it
So
gold?
I don't know why. I thought the headband was cloth, like one of those cloth wraparounds. Is it metal?
I always it was described as
assumed it was a
gold.
crown.
But,
Yeah.
but it is your.
Okay.
I assume it was like in your bag, though? Oh no, does that mean it was stolen?
No, it was not stolen. It was not kept in his bag.
Oh, okay.
But he would have taken a few points of damage
Devil's
trying
bargain
not to
on
drop
Remy.
that.
So we just had a long
but we
rest,
just had a long rest, so we're all good again.
You-
Devil's bargain. Who's it for, Shade? Remy. Remy, you just received a devil's bargain. So you have a dice
Wonderful.
that you can use to add. Don't forget, Nerida, Kitty, and Remy, you all have this.
Yep.
So when you want, you can just add on an automatic 1d4 to one of your rolls.
Okay.
Huxley, do you think it's wise to pray in another god's temple?
Yes.
He is the breaker of chains.
And
What is Lathander in this dark place?
the Morning Lord.
I don't know. This seems to be suspicious.
Well, I will not give up on my religion simply because I am in a different place. Lathander's blessing upon you.
I
Klaak,
wouldn't give up religion, but
one of the things that you understand, Klaak, from being part of the Goldar and whatnot, is that humans are filled with all these fantasies. True goblins understand there are no gods and whatnot, and humans like to make up these stories about different places they actually get their power from. Obviously, goblins understand that true power comes from in the arm. True power comes from the things that you do as people, not from this other stuff. And while goblins, some are renowned for getting their power elsewhere, it's all about being harnessed through the person. Humans just seem to like to make up these stories about fantasies. They live in their own fantasy world, basically.
yeah.
Like thinking that they own all the South.
It seems Remy spent a lot of time reading, but you're supposed to be the lore master.
I know much lore about my god Lathander. Would you like to hear about it?
Does it help me get my crown?
I do not know about your crown, I'm sorry.
So no.
Well, it could, maybe. I hear Lathander opens up doors to people. Maybe he'll open up a door to your crown. You should really listen.
We
Went through a door. That's how we got here.
well, we are in a place of power. According to this, he gestures at the journal he found.
That's what I told you.
This is a place associated with Dorseal. Wizards would come here in search of great power.
What is a door seal?
He's
The seal of a
he was a-
door.
He was a great. No,
Remy?
he was one of the greatest creators of magical artifacts to have ever lived. He was a goblin. Or at least
Oh,
referred to like a goblin.
I think I knew. I knew
Sean.
a goblin would be here.
Klaak, I would like you to make a history check with advantage, please.
Oh, with advantage. Oh, thank God for
and,
advantage.
Yeah. You may
Wow.
you may know him as
Pretty good history roll for Klaak.
It is.
as Celador.
And one of the things as he starts bringing up the door seal and cellar door, again, door seal, as we talked about before, is in the same language that Vroknak would speak, that high ancient goblin. And cellar door is closer to a translation that would be in Goldar, similar words in the goblin and whatnot, that's kind of been bastardized into human speech or common speech. And so you realize there's an absolute connection between these two things. That door seal and whatnot, and the cellar door is this beneath the ground area that is entered into in the goblin speak. An entrance beneath the world itself, down into the depths of Khyber.
I think this is what me and Bose were looking for then.
You were looking for Dorseal.
Well, to the underworld, to beyond the great push.
Did you just say the underworld?
Does that scare you?
Are we dead?
No, surely not. I'd know if I was dead.
I would be in with Lathander if I were dead.
Yeah, see, Huxley would
Would
be
you?
with his god.
How
Yes.
else would you break your chains but to die?
And I don't believe Godfrey, and I'm not sure about Aathos. But I don't know really if Godfrey would go to the afterlife. And I certainly don't think... Monty, do you have an afterlife?
Oh, wait, one arm.
Oh, you got shit.
And then all of a
I'll take
sudden-
that as a net.
And it's at that moment that you hear a blast in your mind, and it says, this entity knows life after life after life after, and just starts getting caught in that loop of repeating itself. Huxley, with your nat 20, when Nerida was getting all her items back and whatnot, the thing that you noticed why I had the three of you roll was one of the items, and the reason you had advantage was you pulled all her items off of her. There was something there that you had never noticed her using before this. 2 foot long smooth rod that you're noticing is the same color as Monty. Now Nerida has pocketed it away, but that is something that you noticed. You just didn't put it together until
Monty-
you were back in the hall here.
Monty, we talked about this. You can please, maybe just try and stick to your voice. Oh,
The
blasted
eyeball
headache. Well,
stops for a moment, and it puts its hand over its mouth, and then it looks at you, looks to the others, the eyeball rotated back and forth, and it says, mouth, mouth.
yes, that you okay. How about you just try and remain silent, and then I'll await further instructions. Maybe I don't know. Keep standing watch. Let me know if any other thing comes from that way. Any points
Mouth,
down
mouth,
the corridor.
Mouth, watch, corridor, and it turns and looks towards each way, and then turns, and it literally starts kind of going in a circle, try to, because its whole body which has this eyeball in the center of it, can look away, and it keeps
Yeah.
trying to look down the corridor in different directions.
Gosh,
Mouth.
monodromes are terrifying, but not as terrifying as the triple form.
Mouth.
While
all
that
of you
is
can see
happening,
this panel that's been bent away in the back, and the wires that Remy has fixed that are somewhat hanging out and whatnot. And
while that's happening, Huxley's gonna go over to Nerida and just kind of quietly talk to her and say, "Hey, you know, I don't mean to be intrusive in on your life or anything, but I happened to notice you had this rod on you when I was taking off all the metal bits."
I do?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the iBot guy.
Do I know that I have this item, DM?
yes, that was. Remember, I messaged you afterwards and said you found a 2-foot rod on that body.
I didn't add that to my inventory because I am the dumb. Okay.
It's all right.
Alright. Alright.
For 10
okay.
plot points, I'll give you something big that you also never added to your inventory that you've been forgetting about for sessions and sessions and sessions. But it'll cost you 10 plot points.
I'll pay for it.
No, I'm asking her. She's got to be willing to pay. This is my. Let's see how valuable it is to her.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be worth it. If you remember when you first went into the Underdark and you got onto the shores and you met the individuals kind of the thing, you got a certain whip. Or just
No, I haven't forgotten about that.
really? Okay.
Yeah, no,
Well,
it's
no
tied to my
plot points lost for
hip.
you. Okay.
I just haven't used it yet.
Okey-doke. And cool. So you have your rod, everything else.
Okay, I will pull up that rod then.
I think maybe Remy might have a use for it. What with it matching the robot? Maybe it's like the robot's weird leg, sort of thing.
Do I recognize what it is? Like,
Appears to be just a long copperish looking tube. And
Copper tube.
there's capped at both ends. How do you
oh, it's
keep
capped
it
at
long?
both ends?
Yeah. Yeah, like it was
Okay.
welded closed or something, but
Okay.
long. Doesn't feel that heavy at all. In fact, you're pretty sure
I mean,
if
is
you
this
smashed it
magical?
hard enough, it would bend.
Oh, Remy, is this magical? Remy, out!
Remy's like, sorry, I won't be answering that question. I'm going to leave the cameras messed up for a moment, viewers, only because I expect he'll be logging right back in a moment. And when he does that, I want to be able to pop him right back in. So in the meantime, sorry about all the messed up screens.
In the meantime, I'm Alex.
There you go.
What am I? I don't know.
Yourself.
I have
Oh, now I'm sad.
there you go. I put you back in your spot. There you go. And now I'm Alex. I don't want to be Alex.
What do you mean? You get to be Remy! That's the life.
No, there's too much of me. Oh. Hey, what's your cat's name again, Nerida?
Moxie.
Moxie? As in with an
Yeah,
M?
she keeps showing up.
That's because she's got a lot of moxie.
Yeah,
I love it. Rip
she grew
Remy.
into the name.
So when he gets back on board, I mean, as soon as his camera logs in, just be like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened to him and everything. Just be like, oh my god, how do we bring him back to life? And just like, I mean,
Let's hope he's
chat
not
should, like,
listening to the stream.
Once he's back in, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he might be listening to the stream. He's good like that. He probably is. He's probably like, hey, they're plotting against me.
Well, there's plot
Meanwhile,
points.
I'm gonna look at either end of the of this bar, and I'm gonna like poke the ends of it.
As I said, it
Twist
appears
around a
kind of
little.
welded closed, so it's not
Okay.
something that appears like you could open it.
I'm not trying to open. I'm just poking the ends.
Sounds hollow. As you tap it,
Sounds
you can
hollow,
definitely
okay.
tell that it sounds hollow.
All right.
You suppose it's full of air?
What else would it be filled with?
Cotton?
Orphan tears.
I'm gonna just start putting all my jewelry back on.
Remy has finished at this point with your ring as well, and I'm going to assume that he gives it back to you so that you have that.
Okay, good. I'm gonna put it back on. Whoop.
A very lovely
You like
ring
it, you love?
indeed.
and it appears that the
you.
way he's built up around the stone hasn't just bent the tabs back over, but that he's added something to it so that it has a better grip than before, and you can't notice any cracks in it when he's done.
Yes. All right. Perfect.
Klaak?
Well,
What does the other one look like right now? The other Huxley.
Other Huxley appears to be standing there watching the little monodrone, obsessed with this thing as it's spinning in circles, watching the corridor. And he almost appears to be Aathos trying to have a conversation with it. But it's not talking back, at least not out loud that you can hear.
What are you? And I just kind of hit him with like the butt of my thing, like on his back.
Are you talking about Aathos or the hot-wired
Yeah.
monodrone? Oh, okay.
Hot Aathos.
You poke Aathos, and it immediately stands up, looks at you, adjusts his eyes, and says, "What are you?" And right before your very eyes, he, now after this long rest, changes and models you looking at yourself. You notice that it's not a perfect replica, and again, his voice never changes to match yours, but he clearly is trying to imitate you as much as possible, right down to the poking motions.
At least you have good taste now.
He's like, "I do, don't I? Good taste everywhere. Taste is a problem, though, tasting things." And he reaches over and puts his face down towards the monodrone and tries to lick it. That says, "No, taste buds are still not there." In the meantime, Saren, who's been standing over near the wall, looks at you and says, "If we're all rested, are we supposed to go forward, or are we going back now?"
How do we go back?
maybe we figure out a game of an attack plan. Because they want us to prove that Remy's like the ultimate wizard dude of all wizardy dudes. And he has to pass all these tests. And I'd like to pass the tests with him and not get thrown over a cliff again. So, that chair works to hover. But there's also those creatures, the ghosts that come out. I don't know if they come out on a clock, like anytime we exit. That might be good to find out if these things work in cycle. Right?
I don't like it when the room gets that hot. It was not good.
But if the room works in a cycle, then we just go out when the room isn't hot.
Yeah. But how do we get across?
The chair, presumably.
How far across is it?
It's right here.
No, the room. The hole in the room. Did I see how far across it was when I was down in there?
Well, right now it's dark again, and no, you did not see the bottom when you were... Well...
Not how deep, but how far across.
When the room was lit up, it appears to be about 60 feet across. So about
Okay.
10 feet out, the drop-off happens, and that drop-off tends to go for another 40 feet. And then there's about another 10 foot on the other side. I don't know that you actually... I don't remember if you actually saw underneath. I think the only person that's actually stuck their head through was Aathos. And somebody else fell in. I can't remember.
Yeah, it
I'm the
was
one who fell
Nerida.
in
Oh, okay.
and got impaled.
I feel like Nerida would have the most information about what's under the illusion.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, then. So you got that.
Okay.
I tried throwing my axes, but they just fell through it. And I can't jump farther than I can throw, that's for sure.
Alright,
So maybe what we do is we...
Wait, did you say the chair hovers?
Yes.
It's not hovering right now.
Huxley just perpetually seems like a crazy person. I can can breathe underwater. The chair floats, really. Truly, Huxley has the worst timing to tell people things.
Yeah. I'm gonna start inspecting this chair. I'm gonna investigate the chair.
You look it over, it appears to be a 100% normal room with the exception that it has certain sigils scratched into various parts of it, magical runes, and you realize the crafting of it appears to have no nails whatsoever, solid wood, no glue, just these long thin straps, not of cloth and not of wicker, but of metal that has been braided to hold it together. So it's a very unusual construction.
Okay. Well, if we want to get someone over to the other side, maybe we put somebody in the chair and then the chair hovers and then we just give them a push until they are over to the other side.
Well, I did that and it worked well for you getting partially the way there, but I didn't push you that hard, to be fair.
Wait, when did this happen?
You were asleep. It's okay.
Next time I'm unconscious, do not put me in a chair that you do not know what it does. And especially do not put me in a chair and start pushing me over an edge filled with a pit trap of spikes that I was already impaled on once.
I'm sorry. It seemed like a good idea at the time because you were all burny and asleep and you couldn't help yourself, and I just thought maybe I could. Yeah, okay, that seems fair.
Okay, just so we're clear.
We are crystal clear, girlfriend.
You are not. No.
Understood. So, I think the plan should be that we take the chair, we tie a rope securely around the person and the back of the chair, and then we just kind of push them across, and once they're all the way across, they can undo themselves, we can tie the knot in front of them, and then they can untie the knot, tie it to the chair, we pull the chair back, rinse and repeat.
Okay, who's going to push the last person?
That's a good question.
Okay, so once everybody but the last person is over,
The last person
since
will
we're
hold the
tying,
rope.
yeah, just they'll tie themselves to the chair, we pull them over.
The
Okay.
magic
Assuming
guard
that it
still
works.
spinning, looking at both directions of the hallway, and Aathos points to it, and says, "Can't he push us off? He's got one good arm."
I think Remy wants to keep it.
So we have to push the thing also across?
Probably.
Maybe that's the best bet. Let's push that thing over there, and if it dies,
Push
it
it
dies.
first. Yes.
Also, maybe there are ledges that are really short distances away from each other instead of however far you were throwing your thingy, Mabobber. Maybe they're every 5 feet apart, nice and jumpable and skippable, but either way we should test by just slowly trying to throw something out further and further. If we take a rope, right?
I have an idea.
And we just keep adding 5 feet to the throwing length, then we could know.
Or I have a bag. I'm gonna pull out my bag of ball bearings and I'm gonna pull one out because that was in my sack. Were those stolen too?
If it was in your sack, didn't you lose that?
Well, I couldn't have taken my whole backpack off because I would have felt.
No. No. If it was in your backpack, then no, you have it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna pull out my little bag of ball bearings and I'm gonna hold on and be like, I can just throw a bunch of these and see where they land, see how loud they go down. I could try and roll them across, see if there are any illusory paths, mayhaps.
Don't you need those?
I've got 900 of them.
Well, throw away then.
Okay.
I'm out of axes, so I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, maybe we don't throw the important things, like weapons.
That sounds fair.
I thought I would land on the other side. It looks real.
Do you
So
need
it
a
is-
new weapon? You could have my mace.
Oh, okay. Can I throw it?
I mean,
No.
feel free to if you
Okay.
want to.
Maybe not they cross the gap.
We will use your bearings of balls.
Yes. And I'll be back in 1 second.
The cat knows what that means.
And Saren adds that he would prefer if you did not throw him either. Seems a little nervous with all this talk about throwing people and not caring if somebody.
If we run out of balls of bearings, you might be next.
He is
eyes
kidding.
go
No, he is
wide.
kidding. Hey, look at me, look at me. If they're throwing anybody, it will be me. They've already done it once. And I'm slightly upset with them over it. But
Somewhat confused.
I kind of allowed them to do it, so.
Aren't they your friends?
Well, I know some
This
of
is
them
a
here,
generous
and
word.
friendship is a journey.
Oh, where does it lead to?
It leads to new horizons.
Okay, he's kind of confused by that. Again, you're older though, and Saren's young, so he goes along with it. He goes, well, I just don't think when we were talking to the benefactor that, we were supposed to sit here. So whatever you think is best. I just agreed to come along because, and he starts getting excited, and the stutter kind of goes away as he gets happy, excited. He's like, and so it's going to be good for me being here with all of you.
Don't you worry. Everything is going to be fine, and you are so right. This is an exciting adventure. Get pumped.
And then he kind of gets all excited with you and whatnot. In the meantime, Aathos has gone back to trying to convince the monodrone not to spin, but it just keeps doing exactly what Remy told it to do. Walking in circles, checking out the hallway, doing all this.
Okay.
How do you want to try and get across? So the final decision is we're going to start putting people in the chair or what?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna-
that's it.
No,
Oh, no, the
before
ball
they do
bearings
that-
first.
Yeah, before they do that, I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna take just my bag of ball bearings, and I'm holding them in the bag, so that I'm not holding them by the metal.
Mhm.
And then I'm just gonna take a handful, and then I'm gonna start rolling and throwing them across the floor, and seeing where they end. Throw it a little further where it ends, and if it starts getting hot, I'll come out of the room. And if I notice that the light is going down and that it's getting cooler, I'll go back in. I'll make a process of it.
Okay. And again, you get a few rounds before things start to get warm and whatnot. And while I guess technically the balls should have gotten hot enough to burn through the bag, I'm just not worried about it. It's just such small potatoes. And eventually you get exactly what you see on the screen, which is an understanding of exactly the dimensions of where the floor passes away. So you have an idea of where it begins and where it ends, and you can see some balls laying on the other side.
Okay. So we know that it is about 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet across.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go back into the room with the others. All right, so I figured out it is about...
Hey,
oh, welcome
he's
back.
Oh, and he's gone.
Here goes my camera, and there we go. There's my audio. There's my camera. You're listening to 45.5 The Weasel. Welcome back, folks.
Tech issues.
Yeah.
Nice tech
What'd I
issues.
miss?
Not my fault.
Yeah.
Yes, not your fault.
We have decided... You fixed my ring perfectly.
Oh,
and-
wonderful.
Yeah. And,
We also showed you a cool pipe.
Oh,
yeah, I handed you a pipe that's the same metal as Monty is made out of.
interesting.
It's closed on both ends like it's welded shut. It's about 26 inches long, and I just handed it to you
Welded shut.
and asked
So
if it was magic.
you, well, you said welded shut, so Rembrandt will shake it next to his ear, see if there's anything inside there.
The pipe appears empty, and it's
We
too
think it's
light
full
to
of
be solid.
cotton.
We do not think it is full of cotton. And I have made a process of throwing ball bearings over the edge of the cliff and rolling them to the point where now we know for sure that the gap is 40 feet wide.
Okay. Well, you busy bees. Well, I'm not quite sure that whether this is especially magical. Monty, do you know what this is?
The monodrone stops from its spinning, turns towards you and says, "The controller has controller activation system in hand."
Controller activation system in hand.
Any controller
Activation.
attuned to the activation system gains control of this monodrone.
Oh, so I've already bypassed this thing, huh? Interesting. Why would a controller need this if they're already the controller?
Controller override activation system is permanent.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, do you mind if I keep this Nerida? Things always seem to
Sure,
be
if
patched.
it will help. Go ahead.
Put it in my pack, I suppose.
That's
And,
just the exchange for fixing my ring.
Wonderful. Perfect. Well, seems we do need to get across this gap, so any ideas?
Well, we considered putting people in the chair and tying them to the chair and then pushing them. It seems kind of familiar to me.
Yes, it does.
However, apparently this chair actually floats, according to Huxley. I don't know if I believe it. I haven't seen it float.
Has
Who wants to go
Aathos
first?
has Aathos shared it? Shared the side thing with us, the hidden path on the side. No.
You know, I realize we're really into this right now, but the reality is we have to have a dance party. So on the count of 3, man, you need to give us about 30 seconds of your best dance. One,
hold on,
two,
hold on.
3. Lift it up. Woo, woo. I don't know what music he's got going, but we're doing.
Yeah, I tried to change it at the last minute.
Oh, and it is good music. All right, from now on, that's the next thing. Thank you for that dance party, Miss Kitty. Don't she's like, hey, we need more action in this. You know, when we say it's an action game and an action table, yeah, we just really mean dancing. Yeah, we're gonna have to do more music with that from now on. That's a new thing. Alex, I'm gonna give you a couple plot points for that one. Thank you for that.
Wonderful. It was very impromptu and a little slow, but we pulled through.
Hey, we learn as we go, which is the mainstay of every gaming table. Great gaming table.
All right. So, has Aathos shared the hidden path with us at all? No? Yeah, maybe.
No.
The chats.
No, I think
Nobody
last
asked.
he said he was keeping it to himself because he just wanted to go for it, but then he got
Oh
distracted.
yeah.
So I don't think he's sharing it.
Well,
Yeah, and I
I
refuse
suppose
to
we could
throw
use the chat,
somebody
but
else's character to the wind like that. So, if one of
Yes.
you guys want to do something like stick your head through the false floor, you're more than welcome to. You'll need light source. Don't forget. You know, just talking meta, because it is dark
I-
down there.
well, I suppose this really is the only option. It seemed like, and
But I have
wonder-
heard the barbarians hit this floor. The secondary floor.
Oh,
I thought there wasn't a floor.
you were trying to
The
get
hidden
across.
path, rather.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
Oh, yeah.
You said you were trying to measure how far it goes across. So the
Yeah, and
path
I was
is all
like
the way on the
rolling
left.
some and throwing and.
Sure, why not? Go ahead and make a roll. Why not?
All right, what
Make
do you
an
want me to roll?
Investigation roll.
All right.
All right. This is the thing you always say you're good at. So if you
We're
fail,
gonna find out.
we'll make
No.
There you go. So sure, you heard an extra little tinkle over there.
Okay.
All
She
right.
doesn't-
I love it.
she doesn't equal. Well, I suppose, although something important that I noticed when those ghost things were emanating. Now, it would make sense that they're below now, but they started sinking downwards at sort of this halfway point. They didn't even make it close to you, Nerida, when you were. You probably don't even know. I suppose you know you're in the chair. You were in the chair at some point, but you probably don't know how close you
Yeah,
came to them.
Huxley told me.
But yeah, there were these ghosts, and they stopped halfway. So I wonder if once we get halfway, if that's something we should be concerned about upon crossing. That might potentially be dangerous. Floating chair, if those things are able to grab hold of it, it could pull us right
Yeah.
back down.
What is this about making you a great wizard?
Well, they asked if there was a wizard, and some people sometimes mistake me for that, so I did respond to the call. It seemed to
Oh.
do something. No, I mean, all of this seems to be tied to Dorseal, someone that wizards pursued. I think that's probably where we're coming from here. But so, what's the plan here? There may be ghosts that try and pull us down. So, what about that eventuality? We can't pull ourselves quick, or the chair will just tip right over and toss us, into the void below.
Possibly. You want to keep this thing with the big eye?
I mean, preferably. He's very interesting, but do you have an idea for his use?
We put him in the chair and we push him across first.
I don't see why not. He's from here. Things might not even attack him. Monty,
The monodrone
Are you able to
eye stops and focuses on you.
are you able to sit in chairs as a functionality?
This monodrone has 2 functioning legs. This monodrone can bend at the knees. And as he does, the whole ball squats down and kind of sits its round bottom on the floor, its 2 knees bent in front of you, as if it's answering your question as best it can.
Wonderful, Monty. Hold that thought.
Looking at the size of the big round ball, you're looking at that chair going, it's going to be a tight squeeze. Unlike people who can really bend in the middle, it has no bending butt. It's a gigantic round ball of metal.
Maybe he can squat in it.
We
Monty,
can use some rope to tie him to the chair.
Potentially. I wonder. Maybe we should give him. Do you have any more? There's climbing thing.
Yes.
Not pinata. Oh yes, those.
Yeah.
Maybe we could give him one and have him, tie the rope to it, and then, or what? He can't tie, can he? We could have him jab it into the wall.
Okay.
And with the rope already secured.
Okay, and then I can walk across the rope.
Yeah. Well, yes. Sure. I was more so thinking we'd hang on to it. Walking seems a bit more dangerous, but yes. Do whatever you like.
I mean.
Yes. Okay. So Rembrandt is all for this putting Monty on the chair and going. So shall we? Everyone feeling all right?
Saren's ready to go. Monty's willing to
I'm
follow
ready.
the orders. Godfrey's
All right.
just looking at you with his head tilted and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Onwards. We need to be quick before the room starts getting hot.
Okay, so we should. If that is the only room that's getting hot, then maybe we should make the things that are metal go first while it's not hot and go into the next room.
Potentially, I think it's more of a net thing. Like, the longer the metal is being exposed to the radiant light, the more hot it gets.
Start taking all my metal off again, even though I just put it back on, and I'm gonna put it in my bag and then put my bag on me so that all the metal's in the bag.
Okay. Now, you already know because of the burn marks in your clothing that when the metal gets hot enough, it will burn through all the whatever fabrics.
Burn
Yeah,
a hole in your pocket.
But this won't. It'll burn through the bag, yeah. But I've got a plan for that.
We'll figure it out. Onwards, I suppose. And Rembrandt will lead on very confidently. Come on, Monty. Klaak, grab the chair, if you will.
I would like to stay in this room while we get Monty across to try.
Well,
So I will hold the rope back here, and that way I can pull him back in if something goes wrong.
Well, do keep in mind, if you pull hard, he will spill right into the pit filled with, I assume, spikes.
Like, yes, the things that they got impaled by. Yes.
I am willing to take this risk with Monty's life.
Well, I suppose I am as well. He doesn't really die, so that's very interesting. He sort of continues and continues and continues, according to him.
But if we just have some extra rope and just tie him with extra rope to the chair.
Let's just do all of these things. I think they're all fantastic ideas. Let's do them all at
I'm
once.
gonna take out my hempen rope.
So we
My
tie
50
him.
feet of hemp rope.
So we tie the chair. We tie something to the chair. We tie him to that.
Monodrone, who's half kneeling in the chair to try and stay on it. One arm hooked
I
around
think-
the back. All these ropes wrapped around him into this big bundle.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make like a slip knot not a slip knot, but one of those knots where if you pull one, it unties the whole knot. So that when Monty's over on there, I can pull at the end of the rope and undo the knot and whip the rope back.
Do you remember to tie this one? And he gestures to the rope of coiling to this, the strong one,
Right.
to the python as well, because he needs to be able to jam it into the wall.
I do that. I'm good with knot work.
There you
All right.
go.
All right, Monty. The instructions are very simple. Remain in the chair, and once you are in, and remain in the chair.
Maybe we should
Once
give him
you were-
one order at a time. You can order
Okay.
him when he's over on the other side.
Yes, Monty, remain in this chair.
The Monodrome seems to be ready. It doesn't feel any need to respond.
Okay. And keep this in your hand.
Yeah, hold the python.
And your hand's in the python.
So the Monodrome lets go of the back of the chair and holds the python in its hand. And
We tied it to the chair though.
Yeah,
And I've specifically
kind of.
tied it to the part of the chairs that are not metal. I know that Monty is metal, but I'm just
It's fine. It's fine.
saying.
We're willing to risk it with Monty's life here. He's a test dummy. All right. Are we ready? Rembrandt looks at everyone very seriously.
Aye.
Ready,
Monty,
ready?
are you ready?
this Monodrome is ready.
All right, Athos, stay there.
Aathos looks at you, blinks his big mechanical eyes, and just waits. And
Right.
next thing you
God.
shove the chair out into the room. And literally the minute, you guys are all shoving against, pushing Monty along. But the minute all four legs are in the room, it lifts right up off the floor about 4 inches.
All right. Everyone, big steady push here. Huxley, how about you help me with this? We'll try and aim it as best we can. Ready? 1,
All right.
2, 3. Push.
I would like a group check, and let's see some of those dexterity rolls. And let's go ahead and make it, just keep it
Heck
straight
yeah.
dexterity.
That's strength.
Nice. Nope. Dexterity.
17.
I want to check direction first, and then we'll go.
We're aiming. So.
19.
18.
Wow.
We got it in a row.
Klaak, let's see you, buddy. Oh,
I'm standing. in the other
Well, Klaak's
room.
hanging back. It was
Oh,
just
that's-
us three.
He's the
the rope.
anchor point in the
Yeah.
back room.
love
He's
it.
our big boy.
Direction seems good. Let's do a strength roll, each of you.
Okay.
Remember,
Crowd
Huxley's
around
got
us.
3 unluckies.
I do, and actually, what I was just saying in chat was that I wanted to check with you first if you're okay with it, since we just did a long rest, and usually that's the end of a day. Technically, that should reset to 3 if you're good with it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I have it at once per long rest.
I would like to use my Devil's Bargain and my inspiration for this.
Devil's Bargain and inspiration being used by by Rembrandt. Done deal. man.
But I'll just use the Devil's Bargain on the first roll.
You're
Okay,
making
and-
Huxley reroll his strength.
It's a 21 from Rembrandt. He's never been he's never been so great at anything in his life
He gets the full
when it comes to physicality.
full motion at that 21, and I see a strength roll of 10 for Nerida. She's on the side a little bit, and between
That's surprising.
Yep.
I think
between
Hux has
Huxley
an
and
unlucky
Remy.
reroll, right?
Moments later, the Monodrome has sailed all the way across, gone over the next floor, continued sailing all the way out the other door, and all of a sudden you hear as the chair cracks down, having left the room and lost its ability to float in the other room.
Monty, Rembrandt calls, stab the wall as hard as you can with the sharp side of the metal object you're holding.
Good distinction.
Literally, Monty's right next to the wall, having gone into the hallway on the other side. You start hearing this tink, 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 tink.
Just once.
Until it's embedded, firmly
Yeah.
embedded.
Yeah, there.
Monty works at it for a little bit, tried to get it in there, in place, and because you told him to embed it, he starts hammering on it with his little metal hand at the end. Feels pretty good.
All right. This is
Test
actually
throw.
working.
I'm gonna test throat. Tell Monty to push the chair back so we can use the chair and the rope. Now I'm gonna
Monty.
pull on that rope that I did my slip knot, my special knot on.
Monty, pull the chair, the wooden object with 4 legs, into this room through the doorway, but make sure you don't fall in. So maybe push it in. Push it. Push it. Yes, get behind it. Yes, facing. Yep. Oh, right. No, just a bit for. No, come on. No, just go on. Oh. There we go. There we go. Very good boy. Very good boy.
And
Good for
literally, the chair, he pushes it out. It's not floating at all. Pushes it over to the edge. And again, pushes it over the edge. You have a rope attached to it. And the chair swings down out of sight into the darkness.
Okay, do you think that was a one-time thing?
You can
Possibly,
feel it on
but
the end
at
of the
least we
rope.
got it done when we needed
I'm gonna
to.
start
And
pulling the
you've
chair
heard
back.
You hear the clack as it starts hitting different things in there, the spikes and whatnot. So beneath the floor, you can hear all this. And at one point, it does become snagged. How do you want to respond to that?
At least it was just the chair and not your roly eyeball.
Yes, quite. All right, let's see if we can get this rope secured. Nerida, you're good with ropes. Maybe
Take out
make this
another
as
Titan.
sturdy as possible. It is quite
Let me
strong.
see that. Let me see that hammer I lent you. Just real quick.
Yeah, oh, yes, certainly. Hands the hammer.
I'll hammer the python in instead of jury rigging it with a crowbar. Or I'll get Huxley to do it because Huxley is strong. And be like, hey Huxley, you're strong, right? Here, hammer this.
Yes, ma'am.
Achoo.
And he will start hammering.
But
it.
don't break it, please.
I'll break it. And then I'm gonna very carefully tie a good sturdy knot, and I'm gonna test the give of it.
Feels strong.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
We're
so
doing it, guys. We're doing it. How
what
hot
we
is the
should
room?
do. It's really far down. I couldn't see the bottom of it when I got stabbed on the thing, so it's very far down. You do not want to fall down under any circumstance. So what we should do
Right.
is we should take the coily rope, right? And we should tie it. I can tie a slip knot to it, and then you can tie that around yourself. So if you can't climb across the rope properly, it'll catch you when you fall, and you can climb back up it.
Okay, the rope of coiling isn't that good at pulling once there's already strain against it. You should keep in mind. Only about the
Yeah,
weight
I'll
of
use my
that
other
chair
rope. I
we
pull out my
originally had.
silk rope. We can do it with this one.
Yes. Yes, quite. Also, I believe we're using the rope of... Maybe not.
Using.
All right.
Oh yeah,
So,
we're using the hemp
shall,
rope to,
shall we travel?
the
Yeah.
silk rope, the rope of coiling
Yeah.
to go across.
Shall we travel across, though?
Okay, I got mixed up there.
Yes.
I
But yes, how about we use spare rope? We have a lot of adventuring supplies between us. I'm sure we have a spare rope.
I have a silk rope.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
I
So
started
we'll
with
tie
two
one
different
rope
ropes, I
around whoever's
think.
crossing, and we have someone back here holding on to it, and we'll just hand off. So, how about how's Godfrey gonna get across?
I only have one rope. Never mind. I thought I had silk rope. I should have, but I don't.
Rembrandt has 2 ropes, so it's okay.
Okay.
You could put Godfrey in your lap.
I suppose that maybe we try and get maybe we left the chair down there, right? So
We're
far.
still trying to figure
How
out
about we
to
try and get the
that.
chair? Okay. Suppose keep tugging on it. It doesn't feel like those things are pulling on it, does it? That was
she's
a
the
question
one
asked to
that
Nerida.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Okay. Suppose not then. How about we just try and pull it up in the meantime? How about I tie the rope around myself? That way I can jury rig anything on the other side as well. And
I tie the rope
well,
around you because I am good at tying things.
okay, fine. Anyone can tie the rope. Huxley, pull the chair out of there if you can. And we'll just go through this whole rigmarole process. Rope tied around me eventually, I suppose. And,
Klaak, I think they were asking you for help, right? Did I just understand that right?
Yeah.
Or no?
no.
I thought, okay, so I was holding one of the ropes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're holding the rope that is. Well, actually, you were holding the rope. You're not holding it anymore.
'cause
we
we
took
tied
that
it.
end of it, and it's
Yeah.
embedded in the wall now. You really need to hurry. How hot is the room?
Leave the room and then come back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's what
I was about to say-
I'm thinking.
Have because you guys have been standing at the edge while Monty did all this, right?
Yes.
So the room has grown increasingly brighter. The backpack filled with all her stuff has gotten increasingly hotter and hotter.
As soon as it started getting hot again, I'm leaving the room.
Yeah.
And I'll come back when it's.
I assume we would all probably leave and then have this discussion in the hall, like the part of that discussion in the hallway after that one rope is secured on both ends.
Well, question for the DM. When I was testing things with my barbarians, could I have gotten a general sense of how long it takes for the room to warm up while I'm holding things?
Yep, you get 1 minute.
1 minute? Okay.
Till
then I would have
damage.
then I would explain that to everybody. Be like, oh yeah, we have a minute. Let's go.
Okay. But how about just suppose Sean let us know if there's any holdups, but we're stepping back into the hallway, we're getting a minute, we're talking through things, and then the game plan is we try and pull that chair out of there, and
so
while the chair's being pulled out of there,
do it with basically just strength is what it all really comes down to, right?
I suppose so, yeah.
Klaak, go ahead and make a strength roll.
Well, all right.
And
15.
with a 15, you start hauling on this thing. There's a snapping sound, and you feel the rope come loose and whatnot.
Figured.
And, you know, there's still something on the end of the rope and whatnot. Klaak finishes pulling it up, and you see the chair come up through the illusionary floor with part of a spike through the back of it that it had gotten wedged on and fallen on. And as the spike comes closer, you realize the spike is covered with old blood.
Oh, dear. But it doesn't seem to be floating anymore. That's a shame. Suppose I'll try.
What if we take it out of the room, put it back in the room it came from, give it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know, then see if it floats again?
Well, we have a rope across now. Why do we need the chair? We could just climb
As
across.
a backup in case somebody cannot climb very well on the rope?
But we're going to tie them to it, right?
Well, that's... Yeah.
Tertiary.
Well, not tied to the rope. We're going to... Yeah.
All right.
How about this? We now have an extra rope, I suppose, with this thing broken. Klaak, would you be willing to... You seem to be the strongest of the lot. Do you think you could climb across this with Godfrey tied to your back?
I have my sword. I need that to climb across with too. I could hold him in my feet.
Still think you're probably the... I don't know if your feet's the best idea. How about we just tie him to you? Maybe your stomach? I don't know. Just some portion of you. You're quite strong.
Oh, I will try, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll, like, swoop him up and, like, tie the sword to me with this broken rope. And then I'll try to feet hands, so 2 feet in one hand while I'm holding the thing and go across like a chimpanzee.
Make yourself an acrobatics roll, brother. And what are we... Now, this end of the rope is held by somebody, or what? The other end's got it pitting in the wall?
It's the 2 pythons that are...
At both ends, okay.
It's the rope secured to on both ends, yeah. While someone's climbing, I think it best everyone get out of the room. We don't want the ropes to be burnt through by the metal pythons. So as soon as he gets onto the others...
Can I use inspiration?
Okay, Klaak is using inspiration, and just so that you know, Remy, you were also bought inspiration. So you have inspiration once again.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Can I add 8 plot points to it?
You most
the 12?
You don't want to fall in the pit.
I'm figuring it's going to be a little bit of a harder roll with a mechanical dog attached to it as well.
Wait, so the dog is with him?
I just need Godfrey to grow thumbs.
Is that what I just
Yes, the dog is strapped to his body.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have the giant sword, the dog, and a rope.
Giant sword, dog, rope, and a piton that's been hammered in by the fist of a monodrone.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a little bit of weight when we start adding Godfrey in there and whatnot. So, and all right. You know, let's make a roll for it. I don't know. You guys will roll high, right? You'll roll high, right, chat?
DM has disadvantage from an earlier redeem if you haven't rolled anything since.
I have not. I'm more than willing to allow the disadvantage on this.
Oh no, the deadpan way you stared into the camera scares me.
I was rolling to get you across, so I don't mind rolling with disadvantage. I mean, I got no problem with that.
Oh
no! What?
I got no problem with that one. but we'll just reverse the whole thing and say that I was rolling for you to fall. I always roll it in favor of NPCs. And you know what? There you go. That's a 94, so we're good there. So, bam, you get across just as the pitting in the wall above the monodrone lets loose. Godfrey tumbles across. The real problem is that you take and... Oof. Sorry about it, buddy. You take 6 points of damage because Godfrey's heat and the metal and your sword, and just it takes you that long hand over hand to get across.
Yeah.
Even though you guys made sure the room was cold at the start, by the time you're getting across, it's fully hot. You're burning, it lets loose, but you do make it across no problem. You're able to scoot out of the room. You guys can wait till everything gets cold. And do you have a hammer or something else to put the pitting in properly hard on this side? Klaak?
I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
No more hand axes.
You got the
We got the great sword.
you got the great sword. You got Godfrey or the monodrone.
I don't consider them tools.
And, hey, Knight. Oh, that's for Klaak. Okay. I don't have a symbol for that. But, hey, Klaak, you were bought Foresight, which means that your next attack roll or ability check, which would have been this one, if I was making you do an ability check and whatnot, would be, if you fail it, you get to reroll.
Can be real.
So, that Foresight was bought for you by Knight, so...
Could I use
I
it
don't
to...
have a symbol to put on there right now. I'm going to have to make a symbol for that of a little eyeball.
We'll have like a third eye over my face the whole time.
Yeah,
The
I like it.
Can I use the great sword like the pommel to try to
Absolutely,
put
buddy.
this pitting back in?
Yeah, it's just about
And,
creative thought and whatnot. And bam, bam, bam. You know, you get it into the wedge and it feels really tight. You guys, it seems good.
And I'm
I've
gonna
also
keep
got
hold
Klaak on
of
this
the
side.
rope on this side. Yeah.
Exactly. Who's next on this
All right.
parade?
How about I go next?
Okay.
I'm probably the lightest here, and after that much strain, we don't want to put too much on it. Everyone, clear out of the room so it can cool down, and these ropes don't get burnt through. And we'll take the time to wait, and then we'll go.
Yeah, that's what I like that, Shaden.
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Remy,
Would you
you
like my acrobatics rolls?
I would, please.
15.
Sweetness. Remy, it takes you a little bit. I'm assuming you did something with... How much metal did you bring on you, and where did you have it?
Well, Rembrandt probably left his dagger behind, and he just has a javelin strapped to his... Actually, probably has 2 javelins strapped to his back.
Okay, and those are wood. So
For that
they're not
Klaak gave him,
burning
but those are
damage.
wood. Yeah.
Yep. So you
Nothing.
make it
Nothing.
across, no
I
problem
suppose my
whatsoever.
tools are in my bag. So that those might be burning in the bag, but apart from that,
And
nothing.
who's next?
I'll do next.
Okay, Nerida, you're up. Make your acrobatics roll.
Alright.
And what are you doing with your metal first?
It's still all in my bag.
Okay, so it'll be hanging beneath you in your bag.
Okay. 24.
Sweet.
I know.
Nerida makes it
Remember
look like, you know, she's like, yeah. And she actually gets across in record time. Her bag has not even started smoking as she's like, whoosh, jumps off the other side with a flourish, and she's there.
And I'm gonna put
Impressive.
my bag. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my bag in the next room, or hand it to Remy or something, so that I don't have any metal on me.
Mhm.
I will very hesitantly hand Remy the ring and say, "You drop this or lose it, I will kill you." So he's holding on to my last piece of metal, and I'm gonna go in the room and I'm gonna just like try to secure the rope so that maybe if Huxley has a problem coming across, I can help.
Okay, so we got Klaak
Okay,
on the rope
how about
and
we let-
Nerida.
How about we let Saran go next? That way we have people on both ends to help if something happens. He's not, so he feels a bit safer.
All right.
Oh, Knight, I love
All right, Saran. Saran?
Saren comes out.
Saren.
Huxley, surprisingly, Saren doesn't seem nervous too much about this at all. Gets up, gets onto the rope. He's watched now multiple individuals in front of him, and he'll make his roll. Oh, and DM has disadvantage. So sorry, Saren.
I thought.
But I've been slapped with disadvantage. Oh, Saren, don't I just feel sorry for this poor little
You,
boy?
but you also have
I
Devil's
just wanna know
Bargain.
when he dies on a spike, it was not the DM's fault. This will be chat. Wow. It would have been a nat 20, but instead, it's a 19.
But it's not one.
Oh wow!
Son of a gun.
Oh,
man.
okay.
So your favorite little Saren boy gets across. Seems to slip a little bit in the middle, but no biggie. He catches his thing. It gets over on the other side and comes right across. Wow.
Excellent work. All right. Huxley, you know?
If I was rolling attacks, that would never happen. Sorry.
Hey Huxley, we can do one of two things. You can either try to cross like we all crossed, or you can untie that end of the rope, tie it around you, and very carefully lower yourself, just Tarzan it. And then climb up.
Huxley, how about you keep doing what's worked so far? Rembrandt calls out. What?
You must be
We
muted.
can't hear you,
Hear
Kitty.
you.
Did you press your mic?
Hi. Sorry about that.
Hi.
If the system ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, we'll need a way back out of here eventually, I think.
Hey.
So,
We can leave the rope up.
That's
Yeah.
true. We can.
so Huxley will go across the way everybody else is going across.
I'm holding it still, hoping to help him.
And that's what,
And what is
athletics?
this side?
Acrobatics.
Could you
Acrobatics, yeah.
give a brief description of what this side of the room looks like? You know, like the hallway we're standing in.
Sure.
Any spooky ghost about to murder me?
You came straight down a hallway that led straight here. This hallway on the other side makes an immediate left-hand turn and goes forward into darkness. So until you light a torch and start looking that way. Now you have dark vision, so you can see that the hallway extends at least 60 feet out. But until you get a light source and start going down there, you won't know how far. It does not appear that you can see any turnoffs and whatnot whatsoever. Of course, Nerida can't see anything. We don't have a light source going on. She's caught light when the room has lit up with the various symbols as people were passing it and whatnot, and then it goes back out and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to do some exploration here.
Yeah.
You could always do that while Huxley's
Okay,
crossing and whatnot, or send the monodrone that's just...
No, I think we'll just wait. I just wanted to make sure we weren't in immediate danger.
It doesn't appear so.
All right. All right, Huxley. I think this is the part where you do the thing.
All right, Huxley is going to be using his inspiration on this roll.
Yeah. Wow, that was probably a pretty good use of inspiration. On
You have a
That was a
devil's
very
bargain.
good use of
Okay, yeah, I'll add a maybe plus.
D4.
Yep, there we go.
So it becomes a 14.
And I'll add 1 plot point.
It becomes a 15.
because she knows 15 worked earlier.
I was about to say, that was a good choice because it is a 15 actually. That was a very good choice on that one. So Huxley has used both inspiration and her devil's bargain and successfully makes it across no problem. And you guys are in this hallway and you're standing there. And then Aathos kind of tilts his head and looks out towards you and all that. Kind of like looking. Goes out towards the rope and then does exactly what Aathos planned to do last session. Goes running and dives diagonally straight over to where he thinks the platform is that Nerida heard when she threw her dice and investigated. And he goes running straight off and goes through the floor into darkness.
Oh my god, did he just... Oh my god.
After all this work, getting this idiot all the way over here, and he's with his little miming things, and he goes and just kills himself.
He starts praying that Lathandra have mercy on his soul.
And you
I
hear
just
a
Must have
shake my
voice.
developed a
head, go over
defect.
to Remy, hold up my hand, ring, take my ring back. Put it on.
Yes, certainly, of course. Must have had a defect, I suppose.
A moment later, you see coming up out of the floor, right over here on the far west side of the room, as if walking up steps, Aathos. Slowly you see the head, the shoulders, everything else, and then he walks over and comes out the doorway right here. And tells you,
Oh, there
look,
were
there's a set
stairs
of
the whole
steps on both
time.
sides, just covered by an illusion.
You didn't... that was... Aathos, that would have been pertinent information. You... Oh my...
He goes, I didn't see the steps
Not
till I was
me.
down there.
But you didn't even tell us that there was a Oh,
That have been important.
gotta-
we're happy you're alive.
We are, but we're disappointed that you didn't talk to us.
I'll work on that.
Well, please do. Well, onwards, I suppose. Into the great
I'm gonna light
unknown.
A light source for the individuals that cannot see. This is our kitty cat. This is Mooch.
Aw.
Mooch is a stray that we adopted, and she's an incredibly loving cat, but she despises being held. She will cuddle
Yep.
with you as long as you don't hold her. So this is like a minor torture for Mooch right now.
Yeah, my cat hates being held.
Yeah, wants to be similar. Yeah, wants to get up in front of you, be around you. Just don't hold me. No. So, get out of here, both of you. You're knocking over garbage. Go away.
It takes us an hour 45 minutes to not take stairs.
I was kind of like, well, okay, we're doing all this. And, you know,
Oh, we didn't know.
no, you didn't, and that's it. Yeah, I just.
What we did, we just.
Well,
As
he didn't know
characters,
there
we
were
did.
stairs either. Again, it required somebody to
anyway.
want to get down over there. So
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah.
You guys are in this hallway that extends off 60 feet in the darkness. Again, are we lighting a light source for Nerida?
Huxley, you
something
think
with
you
the
could do
light
that thing you
cantrip,
always
right?
do with the light?
Huxley walks over to Nerida. Can I see your hand?
Sure.
Huxley will put the light spell on her hand. That way she can just hold it out like a flashlight.
Nice. There you go. And that lasts for how long?
Now,
Finger guns, the light beams.
Awesome. There you go. With a glowing hand, next thing you know, she is all afire, or at least aglow. And let's make our first D15,000, please, Kitty, because you just cast a spell. And I said I would roll a D4 to see if this is the major one or a minor one. And
how
on a
do
1,
I
we'll make
even
it the
roll
major.
a D15? What is that? Slash roll
Just R.
slash R space D1500.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
this is tough to do when I'm not looking at it. It's a 2.
3 zeros.
981.
15,000.
And let me adjust this real
981.
quick. Boom.
All
That
right.
was a D1500,
Now it's time
not
for.
a D15,000.
Oh god, sorry. Let me
All right.
slash R 151000.
I now
There
have
we
to
go.
Everything-
open up my.
Everything in a 100-mile radius is now underwater.
Nope, this is a minor one. Including you, right? You are the only thing left standing. No, that would be the original Relics of War game, which is still having lessons on this world. Okay, let me get over here and get into my... Sorry, I didn't open all this up in advance. Normally I have this one all ready for you. I should have expected it too. That was my fault. Yeah, this one's on me. Click, click. Where am I? Oh yeah, my Dungeons and Dragons right. Let me get into my wild magic. Boom. This is why I usually keep everything open. Down to wild magic. And then what's the number?
8879.
8,879. And that would be this table. That's this chapter, and then it's 79 on this table. I need to know your party order, so grab your tokens and assume that this lower part that is on the screen is the hallway, just for the lack of argument, so that our viewers can see. Nope, I will put you right all down here. Alright, so clearly you're not looking at the screen, you're looking at the map out there. Boom, boom, boom. Stop moving your tokens. There you go. This is the hallway that you're in for right now.
Okay.
So put yourselves near whoever you are and what you're doing.
I can't tell the direction. I just know I'm at the front.
We'll put Aathos here. At the
We're going this direction, correct?
to the left.
To the left. Okay. Rembrandt will have Godfrey walk up near the front, and he'll be sort of further towards the back. So we're actually going this way, folks.
Okay.
So if we want to align ourselves this way.
Yeah, and Huxley was the last one in, so he's all the way in the back.
And
Well, Huxley is touching Nerida.
yeah, because you just
Oh.
So that cannot
Yes.
be the order at all.
Is light a touch spell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, you're right.
Okay.
So Huxley can be there, and that's there, and Klaak can bring up the rear in case the
Great.
ghosts come back.
Great.
Also,
This
set
is
Klaak's
nothing
health to the
bad can
appropriate-
happen ever.
That's it. Hi, touch me.
Oh wait,
Cast
sorry,
light.
I'm dumb. I should have done that. I'm putting it back. I realized what happened.
This was actually kind of cute. Both of you have just, as Huxley touches the light and whatnot, and touches your hand and it begins to glow, the light goes from your hand up into you and almost reverts back down her arm and goes up Huxley's arm, and each of you have just been the subject of the command spell on one another.
Oh no.
Wait.
Now they're all like, 5e command spell, what does that do?
Oh no. I know what that means.
Oh no. The next word y'all say.
Okay.
I like this. I like this a lot.
No.
Onwards, I suppose.
All right.
Onwards.
I can do a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, let's see a couple saving throws.
There he goes.
Alright.
That's great. I love that.
You want him to roll with bad luck?
Nah.
Just marches to his. Oh.
And let's see. Let's let all our viewers see.
I don't know how to follow the word all right, but just do your best.
Yeah.
Everything is.
I start
all
going to the right.
Everything
Everyone
goes to
said
the
it
right.
is right. Yeah, make to the right. Yep.
I'm like, okay, we start going this way, and I start going to the right.
No, Nerida, no, Nerida. What are you? That's a wall, Nerida. What are you doing?
What?
Nerida, you're just staring at a wall. What is going on?
No, all of us have to go to the right.
Why?
No, the
I don't know.
path is this way. What?
Why
Nerida,
why
no.
don't we why don't we go this way?
Alright, I've gone. I said onwards, but you resisted, so.
Yeah.
Yes. Huxley felt this deep urge to keep going, and so.
I was
thought that
actually
was too
picturing
fast, I
Huxley
suppose.
never stopping. That's it. It's like onward.
Oh yeah, like right into death. Yeah.
Like, sorry. Oh, dragon, open your mouth,
What?
please, dragon.
Luckily, it only lasts around. It looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nerida just insists on going and like staring
And then
at
I
this
stop,
wall.
and then I'm like,
6 seconds.
what?
I'm not.
Shake my head. Did you just cast magic on me?
Yes, I
No.
cast a light spell
Oh.
on your hand.
Okay. Is the light spell still there, though?
It is. The light spell
Okay.
is active. It's just extra energy that came out from the light spell.
I continued the way that we were supposed to be going.
Okay.
I'm changing the map a little bit, so if you're wondering why
Ooh.
your tokens are moving, just give me a moment.
Yeah.
So, you go down the hallway up. I don't know why that just moved on me. Unless somebody else grabbed something without me knowing.
Totally wasn't my fault.
Okay. If you want to get rid of, let's see, that boom, there we go. So, you guys head down this hallway with a natural light spell for, whoop, that should not have disappeared. Why did that just disappear? Did you just delete something? Were you trying to help? Yes. I'm getting help.
I was
Thank you
trying
for
to
that.
help.
I appreciate
Sorry.
it. Thank
What?
you. No, you're awesome. You're awesome. So, coming in from the right-hand side of this room, right over here, you can draw a little door on the right-hand side. The hallway ends at yet another room. In this room with the light spell of Nerida, you come into this room that is 60 foot long, about 40 feet north to south. At the far end of the room is an apothecary table. All these potions are lined up on it. Laying in front of the apothecary table is a dead body laid out, nothing but a skeleton now. And there's not a bit of bone left on this. It is a skeleton. It appears to have once been wearing fabric of some sort that has long been eaten away. There is a metal necklace around the skeleton with a giant talisman in front of it. And in the open hand of the skeleton is an open potion bottle that you can see from a distance. You can put whatever figure you would like right here in front of this table. We can get rid of that hidden path. It's not beneath the illusionary floor. That is just supposed to represent the table.
Put my arm out. Before we go forward, I'm going to take out my ball bearings and I'm going to start rolling them across the floor since I don't have a 10-foot pole.
The floor is solid. The ball bearings roll right up to the skeleton, and some of them bounce off of it, which also enables you to pick up the few remaining ball bearings because you probably lost about 100 at the last one. I don't know.
I thought about 50, but I'll take off another 50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you like.
Sure.
You know, just pick up another bag or two when you go out.
Yeah.
So there you
Or
go.
20.
For the dead body.
All the ball bearings!
Just
Hold
put
on,
that in
it
front
wasn't-
of the altar there. Or
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
sorry,
like
the
it.
apothecary table. And what would you like to do? The ball bearings do not seem to have woken it up. Does not appear to be a undead thing at all. Just a little simple apothecary table with somebody who's dead in front of it or died at some point.
Interesting.
It must have been a long time.
May your soul rest in peace.
Maybe this is some sort of experiment. Rembrandt will sort of approach it and look around carefully. He'll examine the body and he'll look for any signs of this being related to some sort of magical ritual or like harvesting of some sort.
All right, I've got Remy's intents. What are the rest of your intents?
I wanted to watch the door and make sure nothing comes up behind us.
Okay,
Huxley's gonna go over and start praying over the dead body.
You said there was something gold.
I did. A big talisman around the neck with almost the size of your hand.
Okay, yes. So that'll probably be one of the things Rembrandt examines as he's looking over the body.
And
I'm
there
going to pull out that beaded necklace and I'm going to compare there was a ring, a copper ring or something around it. I'm going to compare the design on the talisman to the design maybe on the ring, see if there's any similarities.
Which ring are we referring to?
So the one I got off of the skeleton that was down in the pit.
Okay.
I have, where's my treasures? A beaded necklace with a copper ring.
Yep. That ring, upon examination, now Klaak is back at the doorway, making sure everybody's guarded. Athos goes over and starts immediately checking the potions. Nerida starts looking at the ring, and you were looking to compare it to what?
The talisman that Remy's inspecting.
Okay, so Remy's looking at the body and whatnot. Remy, I'm assuming you pick up the talisman and whatnot to examine it, which lets Nerida see it in her light, or?
Yes, and I suppose just looking at it, is there like anything intricate in the design or anything like that?
It is incredibly intricate. This talisman actually appears to have what look like many almost tendrils coming out around a circle. The center of the circle appears to have two hammers crossed in the middle of it. And upon further investigation of it and whatnot, thanks to the light, even though you can see in the dark, the light of Nerida's hand shining glimmers and lets you realize it's made of what appears to possibly even be gold or something shiny. Maybe it's brass.
Okay.
And so it gives the image of a sun with hammers at the center of the sun. You have... go ahead and make a history check before I say you haven't seen it before.
Okay. Well, part of my intent now that I'm thinking would probably be, since of how cool this looks, Rembrandt would try and ritual cast identify if that's allowed.
It is. That'll be a 10-minute thing. Is it
Yes.
ritual 10 minutes? So yeah.
Yes, ritual's 10 minutes.
Yep. So you'll spend some time with that. In the meantime, Nerida, it does not look similar. The way that the ring itself is braided appears to be an entirely different style of making. What he's holding appears to have been molded, as in poured in and then maybe hammered out and finished and whatnot, whereas yours is this super intricate design that almost appears like nobody could make it. You're like, how could you get all these fine things? In fact, the closest thing to it, now that you're actually thinking about it and looking at it, would have been the chair that you left behind in the other room, because you took the time to look at the way the metal was woven to almost look like fabric, but was in fact metal.
Okay.
Huxley,
When you're done with that one, can you look at this one?
Oh, you're asking him. I thought you were asking me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. And as he's very much so distracted and trying to, he'll agree to anything. Right now.
Huxley, what kind of prayer are you lifting up right now? Do you want to raise this person up from the dead and have them become your servant?
No. Huxley is giving a prayer of rest and that any lingerings may move on to the afterlife. Just a general prayer of solitude to be brought upon the dead.
Yes, move on. Yes,
Perhaps
move. Yes.
do you have any spells of solace or solitude, like to put the dead to rest, that you might want to cast?
No, he does not.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure you offer, maybe a divine blessing or something like that. Or
Yeah, he doesn't have anything like that. He's just doing the typical prayer he does over all dead bodies.
Okay.
He'll put his headband on and burn it later and make this room its pyre.
That was going to be where I was going next, but hey, I'll give you a plot point for that one. I'll bump you up to a 10 on that one because that's exactly where I was trying to get to. Klaak, in the meantime, you hear this human over there chanting away, doing their, okay, I'm praying to the gods and the wind. He's going to the, the spirits and the shadows and the light. He does all that. What is that?
What?
Like metal, like a dryer?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm like, damn, but it's coming through like super clear.
This is like someone's bag or something.
I don't know.
Oh well.
It's the
Anyway,
ghost.
you were saying, John?
But while Huxley is praying, you hear that same familiar chanting sound. And as Huxley is praying, as Alex is only a minute into his spell, I need you to make a concentration check for me. As this spirit starts to come up out of the body itself.
Uh-oh.
12.
12. And you're trying to discern what this thing is, and seeing what you're like, is that face moving? And then it starts to sit up, and you realize it is. And this spiritual figure starts to moan and move up out of the body as Huxley is trying to lay it to rest. Klaak, you can hear this moaning sound, so you are part of this entire thing going on. How would you like to respond to that?
These creatures are back. What do you want to do with it? I'm not good at killing ghosts.
Last time they sort of just moved on their own. Maybe just give it space and remember we'll move back. Did I lose concentration?
With a 12, you did, sir. Yes.
Okay. So remember it was sort of just
so.
yeah. Remember we'll just move move away from it. Get out of. That might provoke an attack of opportunity, but he's just trying to get out of its way.
I'm gonna move it
if it's
right
trying to
here,
lurch anywhere.
only because it was in front of the apothecary table. So
Okay.
Huxley's right there with you and whatnot, because Huxley's the one praying over the body. And as it starts to sit up, this figure actually rises up out of the body itself and seems to look, whereas this is just a skeleton before you, look fully fleshed out. An individual, a little bit possibly, let's say, built a little thicker than most people, standing about 6 foot tall. You can't tell the colors of skin and whatnot. It's this pearlescent white blue to the figure, but you can tell that it's a male, and it looks at you in this full robe and garb and looks strangely at Huxley, and it seems to be trying to speak, and everything that's coming out is this moaning sound and whatnot, and it looks towards the tiefling, and its hand reaches out towards the thing, and you recognize instantly that this individual is wearing the same emblem around you. And I would like you to make a perception roll for me.
Okay.
Rembrandt.
All right.
And then I want everybody to tell me
Big
their
money.
response.
Not 1 for a 4.
Okay. Big money it is.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing as this happens? Welcome, party, give it a beer. Klaak's already announced him.
Huxley's going to reach his hand out to it and keep praying over it, trying to tell it to go to rest.
Nerida is going to pull out the pull out a couple daggers and be like, "Are we killing this thing? What are we doing?"
I don't think we want to provoke it if we don't have to.
Okay.
Rembrandt did step out of its space. I know it is reaching for him, but
No attack of opportunity.
okay, sweet. Yeah, Rembrandt's just gonna keep trying to sort of back away, and so I think it's trying to say something. I'm not quite sure. What? Can you understand us? Nod if you can understand me.
It appears to be following Rembrandt and continues to be reaching out for the emblem that he's holding and whatnot. So it's not reaching towards Rembrandt himself. All of you can see this. In the meantime, how would Godfrey respond to this, Remy? I don't remember what your last command to him was other than ride Klaak.
Stay close.
That was stay close. But I don't think Godfrey would attack something that's not trying to do me harm actively, right? So like it's not something that's trying to grab hold of me. At least not unless he's like ordered to attack already, right? So I think I don't know, maybe a snarl, but not an actual attack.
Okay. And Nerida, what are you doing?
I'm just holding the daggers. I am gonna not really. I'm just holding an attack first. If this thing starts going hostile on us.
But suppose if it still keeps following me, I'll have no choice.
He continues to follow, and we're just gonna fast forward. Remy, you keep backing away, and he keeps reaching out for you till you're all the way near Klaak. And Huxley, you're praying over this individual. What does that sound like? What are you commanded to do? Just be at rest, or?
The powers invested in me by Lathander himself, I am commanding you to rest and to be easy and to move on with your life. There's an afterlife waiting for you that you must go to.
Are you actively using like a turn undead ability?
Yeah, he's gonna use turn undead, but he's trying to use it in a way that's not turn undead.
Okay, so
like in a just rest sort of way.
So let's make
but
a persuasion roll instead of actually using the ability, since you're trying
to
do it a little differently.
Sure. I'll add, what is that? 6 plot points to that.
Dirty 20.
Okay, let me adjust your plot points so that I don't forget, because I'm about to give you the response. As you start praying over him, the head turns towards you. Again, he's got Remy right next to you and whatnot. He has one hand out towards Remy, and because of where your position, well, I guess it would be his right hand, the other hand goes out towards Huxley and whatnot. Remy, your choice at this point would be to either run out the hallway or stand where you are. What are you doing?
He'll stand where he is. If he's all the way like backed up into the corner like this, he'd probably hand over.
You're near a doorway. You can dodge out the doorway. That's the doorway entered by the hallway. It's totally up to you.
Staying in.
Okay, so you stay there. Huxley, what holy symbol do you use when you're turning undead?
He uses a sun symbol of Lathander.
As this individual is reaching out towards Remy, and now you've spoken to him and just commanding this, the second hand that's reaching out towards you reaches right towards your chest where you just pointed and said you have the sun symbol of Lathander, and you feel the hand grip around the symbol.
He's also holding it. So Lathander's holding the symbol as he's talking, so...
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I did not realize that. So he reaches out, wraps his hand around your hand and the symbol, and as he does, you feel the coldness seep into your hand, and suddenly, as his lips are moving, you hear him speak, and he says, "You must command him to obey you and gain the information." And as he does, the hand that's also reaching out towards Alex's character, Rembrandt, wraps around it, and you just catch the ending where he's talking about information. While he has his hands on both these symbols, you two are the only ones that in the room that can hear him. In the meantime, the monodrone that's been following you starts to immediately start dancing around this body that is on the ground, this undead body, this corpse left behind. And that's where we'll leave it off for tonight. You are now speaking with the undead, and you seem to have found the hot-wired monodrones. Somebody it knows.
Yeah, awesome.
Sweet. Now, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I'm going to start figuring out who's rating. You guys say all your goodbyes to our lovely chat that has been here with us tonight, because our chat is just the most amazing individuals. 12 man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really cool.
Always awesome. Especially getting all the whatchamacallits, the wild magic. There we go, I got there.
Yes.
I'm telling you, and we still got more wild magic stacked up. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of feeling for, especially with them having all their spells, what's going to happen in the next session when they start working with this. So, kind of crazy. Anybody got a suggestion on who we raid?
There's the crew we always raid. They're probably streaming tonight, yeah?
The Nerd Asylum?
Yeah, Nerd Asylum.
They're doing Vampire tonight, though.
Oh, are they? Yeah,
So that'd be nice. We can do Nerd Asylum. Whatever you like. If there's somebody in chat that has a favorite that they would like us to go raid, we can do that too.
see if Samurai's live real quick.
Yeah, I was just looking for him. I don't see him on there. It would have been fun to raid Samurai and give him a nice little shout.
Oh, it's awesome. So, but, hi, I'm Alex. I do a podcast sometimes. You guys probably know about it. Y'all hang out here pretty often if y'all made it to the end here. It's called Three Minds. Episodes coming eventually after finals, hopefully. We'll do something. We'll do something cool. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek, a little snippet into my life at some point soon. But I'm going to toss it over to Colton, because since I did your intro earlier, let's see how you do your outro, whether I matched up to it.
I have been encouraged and have taken the challenge of streaming more often. I think I've streamed 22 hours this week on GTA. I've played a few characters on there and I've been having a fun time. I am currently on a quest to get 69 followers. I'm at 60 right now. If anybody is interested or helpful with that mission, I would appreciate it greatly. And Stranger.
Yeah, hi, I'm Stranger. You can find me online at Deck of Queers, online at deckofqueers.com, on Spotify, on the Twitters, at Deck of Queers, blah, blah, blah. Deck of Queers! Yeah! We do a queer podcast, that's all. Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty Doe. I run a YouTube channel called Kitty Doe, where I do storytime animations. I will pass it on over to EM.
Thank you so much, Pepper, by the way.
Yep, I was just waiting to say the same thing. Typing in the chat. Thank you very much, Pupper. Let's see. So I think we got everybody, right? Colton, because did you go, Colton?
I went.
Yes, you
yeah.
did.
I thought so. I just like to make sure because
Dancing puppy!
in my brain I'm doing everybody. I know that was actually what distracted me at the start. I'm like, everybody's bringing their animals tonight. Only Remy doesn't have an animal.
Yeah.
I'm in college. We're not allowed.
I thought you were gonna make some smart ass comment like, well, my roommate comes in yelling,
Oh yeah, the animals are downstairs.
I live in Animal House, something like that. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us tonight. You really make it an amazing table. But whatever table you're at, whether it's a virtual one, a home one, make it the best game possible. Have an amazing memory that you make each and every week. And more than that, just make some amazing friendships. God bless you all. Happy gaming. God bless wherever you're at. Bye from Plot Points.
Bye.
And we're ready.
Awesome. Had fun tonight.